Hello, welcome back to underKG Show. Today we got LG/Google Nexus 5. So Nexus 5 is the latest device out of the Nexus series of Google. It's Google's reference device, reference smartphone. Let's start with the front. Front comes with the white receiver to match the color of the backplate. So the black version comes without this ugly white hole. It was really hard to resist myself from painting it with a Sharpie with black, but I have to write a review, so I have successfully figured it out. But anyway, this white receiver, front-facing camera, sensor, and the 4.95 inch of a full HD IPS display. Nothing in the bottom. It's a soft case built in inside. And moving on to the right, there's a power key over there with the SIM card slot over there. And the hole is relatively small. Don't try to use an iPhone pin thingy. Yeah, this is what happens. So on the left is a volume rocker. That's pretty much it. It doesn't really come with the micro SD card slot or anything else, so that's it. With the 3.5mm headphone jack with the noise cancelling microphone and the micro USB port on the bottom. It's actually flipped upside down like they are in the HTC devices or the Asus devices. And I don't know why. Maybe it's a Google thing. And the speaker over here, which we'll talk about later. And an 8-megapixel camera with the optical image stabilizer and the LED flash over there, and the Nexus engraving, LG engraving. That's pretty much it. This is a white version of a Nexus with 32 gigs of internal storage. There's also a black one. Black one has that rubbery filling, soft filling onto it. So the choice is yours. And inside that is an Snapdragon 800 quad-core processor with 2 gigabytes of RAM and 23 milliamps of battery. We'll talk about that later as well. Before we power it on, let's compare with the previous generation of the Nexus, being Nexus 4. So Nexus 4, there you go. Nexus 4 is also manufactured by LG. This guy over here is based on Optimus G. This guy is based on G2. So comparing it, the Nexus 4 had this glass in the back and front, giving it the kind of a top-notch luxurious feeling. And the Nexus 5 in comparison has this plastic, and even white one doesn't even have that rubbery feeling. It's just a plain plastic. It's not exactly close to anything premium feeling. But anyway, they've tried a lot to make it the cost go down. But anyway, this is the difference in the design. Let's say that Nexus 4 had this kind of a premium kind of feel, while the Nexus 5 is more of a not a budget, but it's I don't know, you can see that it's not a premium device. Let's just put it that way. It's not that it looks cheap or anything, it's just that it's not premium looking, bottom line. Turning it on gives us the lock screen of the Android 4.4 KitKat. You can slide to unlock to any area. And this is the stock launcher of the Android 4.4. Let's just call it a KitKat. The biggest difference with the KitKat launcher is that now it comes with the transparent status bar and the soft key, which does not apply on the other third-party launchers. They're working on it, but for now they don't work on the with the translucent thingy. And the overall icons got a lot bigger. It is easier to notice them, but the third-party apps icons are not exactly matching to the resolution that the launcher requires. Not all the apps look exactly beautiful on that. Other than that, Android 4.4 does come with a lot of new features. The basic things that I've figured out is that now default SMS app is not messaging, it's not there, but rather Hangouts. Hangouts is now integrated with the SMS function, so you can text on Hangouts. Of course, it does come with the default SMS app settings, so you can install a third-party SMS app and choose that as your default app. And finally, they included the home settings. You don't have to go through clear defaults and everything. You can just choose your launcher out of that, out of your Android's default settings. Other than that, the major thing that I figured is that you can say, "Okay, Google." You can say that, "Okay, Google. Listen." "Okay, Google." Okay. You can say, "Okay, Google" in your home screen to launch Google Now. "Okay, Google." "Okay, Google." It works really well. I'm a little bit they're away from the phone. Anyway, it does work. And other than that, most of the Android KitKat is pretty much the same with the previous versions of the Jelly Bean. If I've been using Android over 4.1, it's pretty much the same. Dragging down the status bar gives you nothing. This is a third-party app called Power Toggles. You can also swipe it with your 2 fingers to give this toggle icon, but I found it a bit annoying, so I installed it. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. One of the noticeable changes that the Nexus 5 brings to the Nexus line is that it's got an optical image stabilizer camera with the OIS built in, more likely. So I have taken a sample shot, and I don't know, it's not exactly stunning quality. It's not the best camera in the market, and it does take brighter pictures. But I don't know, it doesn't exactly seem like the best picture. Of course, the previous generation of the Nexus has terrible cameras. So now Nexus 5 has a moderate level of a camera. But talking about camera, talking about the multimedia section, the speaker on the bottom is actually not so good. It's more of a bad speaker to be found on the modern phone. I would really love to play a song, but there's been an issue about copyright infringement and everything, so I would rather not. The music through the headphone jack with your own headphones sounds a lot better than it does on the speaker, but I wouldn't exactly call it a top-notch sound quality. But I'm not an audiophile, so I'm not exactly going to dive myself into all this debate about sound quality. Other than that, the most important thing about the Nexus 5 is that it's an insanely snappy phone. Although like Snapdragon 800 and 2 GB of RAM, now there are 3 GB of RAMs with the devices from Samsung out there. It's not the best spec phone, but it's one of the best spec phone in the market still. And it is snappy as possible. I don't know which app that I have to launch to show you how snappy it is, but with the power of the Snapdragon 800 and the pure Google experience, Android 4.4 even comes with the new runtime. Rather than the classic Dalvik, it comes with ART as well. So even with that enabled, it runs almost any app without a lag. It's insanely fast. That's one thing about Nexus that I can say for sure. So overall, Nexus 5 is amazingly fast and snappy phone. So I would rather call this, although all the Nexus has been like that, but especially the Nexus 5 with this how do I say that? A very simplistic kind of design, and it's most likely a generic phone. It's a generic Android phone. I know that's what reference device stands for, but this is probably the device that suits to the definition of the generic device suits well. Generic Android device, what you expect is to have a snappy processor, snappy performance, but not so much of it doesn't have a special thing. That's what reference devices are for, and this serves the purpose of the existence of the reference device very well. So for this price range, this is one of the best phones that you can get in the market. Of course, it doesn't have a waterproof, it doesn't have the best camera, nor does it have the best audio quality, or does it have a stunning, awesome design. But this is a generic phone the best generic phone that you can get out of the price range. So if you're seeking for a generic phone, you'll love Nexus 5, no matter what you have been seeking. But if you're seeking for that special something, like, you know, an appealing design or like the slimmest phone in the market, this is not for you. But if you're not expecting anything fancy like that, this is perfect for you, especially for that price range. So this was Nexus 5. Always don't forget to subscribe by tapping on over here, and I'll see you guys next time in the other devices review. Thank you always for watching. Let's finish by this white back of the Nexus 5. Some people actually found it pretty annoying. The camera is like black and sticking over there, but I'm fine with that. Anyway, that was Nexus 5. Thank you always for watching. See ya.